my first memories of working down at NXT was meeting this guy right here, Big Cass. You know, me and him go back literally to day one for me at least. You know, he started a little bit before me, but that relationship and that bond as a tag team was formed down in NXT. And obviously, you know, without those years down in NXT, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. So we're appreciative of all the fans who got behind us when they saw, you know, loudmouth, you know, some 6 foot dude standing there running his mouth next to a 7 foot guy. I think people can appreciate that.
I think my first memories are seeing crowds of like 10, 12 people at the Orlando Armory, and then shows in Tampa where there are literally 10 people in the crowd. Just nobody was there. We were working in front of, you know, barely anybody, and yeah, that's how it started. NXT. It started from the bottom. That's for sure.
Now we're here.
When I'm ready, you soft like spaghetti. I'm walking a walk, talking to talk.
I think this experience for us down in NXT, you know, has definitely led to, you know, success on the main roster, because without the fans, me and Cass wouldn't be the characters, we wouldn't be the personas, we wouldn't be the people that, you know, the fans in the WWE universe have gotten to know so well. You know, and the reason why the WWE universe was introduced to us in the manner in which they were was because of NXT. We debuted the night after Monday Night Raw in Dallas after WrestleMania, and the crowd that was there that night, they were NXT fans, man. They knew who we were from the first time we stepped on screen at Monday Night Raw, and we have NXT to thank.
Yeah, like I said before, working in front of smaller crowds and then working all the way up to 15,000 people in the Barclays and 10,000 people in London. We gained a lot of experience from, you know, from the grassroots of NXT all the way to the big stage. So, you know, coming out in front of an arena, in front of 15,000 people, we had been there before. So it definitely helped us gain a ton of experience that we use to this day.
Stacking the dubs and stuffing a lot. I'm hot like sauce. You soft like balsa.
Fan interaction. The fans are such a big part of NXT. They're loud. They're passionate. They don't stop the entire show. They get a 2.5 to 3 hour show, and they do not stop that entire 3 hours. I think that's the biggest part of the NXT experience.
You know, the money we're making now was actually made back in NXT. So we're on the WWE main roster. We're on Monday Night Raw. You see us every week. But, you know, the fans who got to know us down in NXT are the same reason why we are on your TV on Monday Night Raw. The NXT experience in and of itself is unlike any other in the history of this business. And me and Big Cass were fortunate enough to be at the ground floor of that, to work in front of 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, to selling out, you know, arenas in London and working in front of crowds of 15,000, 20,000, sold out Barclays Center. You know, these are NXT shows. These aren't WWE main roster shows. And there is a feel at an NXT show that you will never get anywhere else. Those experiences that me and Big Cass had down in NXT are the reason why we are successful today. And more than anything, some of the best memories I have in this business, some of my favorite matches I've ever had, were in an NXT ring.
Camaraderie amongst the roster, those bus rides up and down the road on those road trips. Yeah, it was a big family down there, from the coaching staff all the way down to everybody on the roster. I miss the guys and the gals from there a lot, and I miss that. A lot of the NXT, you know, roster that we were with is up here now with us on Raw and SmackDown, but I miss just those special moments down there where there was a lot of camaraderie, and we felt like we were part of something very special. Everybody felt like we were all chipping away, and we were all building NXT as a brand, and we felt like, you know, it was like us against the world type mentality. So I miss that camaraderie and that group effort to get NXT, you know, to the next level.
And one thing about being on the main roster is a lot of the times you go places, the people that you're working with or you know, the people backstage, They've been to these buildings, they've seen these cities, they've done these things a million times over. But down in NXT, a lot of these places like Australia and New Zealand, NXT's never been to, and the talent themselves usually haven't been there to those cities or those places either. Me and Big Cass got to see a lot of the world and the country for the first time ever as an NXT talent. And those crowds that we got to work in front of was so gracious that it made it like homecoming in every city that we went to.
Everybody that walked through the curtain at those NXT shows was a star. Everybody's music hit, and everybody was a mega star. First note of anybody's music, boom, the crowd was up. Either in a good way or a bad way, either booing or cheering, but everybody was a star.
There's no fans like NXT fans, that's for sure.
Buddy Murphy's a guy that we know very well. I mean, we've wrestled with him all over this country, all over Florida. We've trained with him at the Performance Center. He's a very, very talented individual, and sometimes doesn't get the credit that he should get because he's extremely talented and has a very good mind for wrestling.
And with the departures of Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, the Vaudevillains, Big Cass and Enzo Amore, there was definitely a void to be filled down in NXT in the tag team division. And I think TM61 is doing a great job of filling that void right now, representing Australia.
Yeah, and Peyton Royce has got a great future ahead of her. She's young, she's talented, and she's got the world ahead of her. A party. It's a 2.5-hour party. You go there from the second the show starts, you're partying, and I mean just in terms of having fun and being loud and being energized and feeding off everybody's energy and feeding off the superstars' energy. It's a party.
And the matches that go on in an NXT show, the individuals in that ring are some of the hardest individuals you'll ever see work in your life, and they do it for the fans. They put their lives on the line, their bodies, and that's what we do, as a profession on the WWE main roster and down in NXT. But some of the hardest working individuals I've ever gotten into the ring with, and some of the hardest working individuals I've ever seen in a ring, definitely were down in NXT. So, between hard work and an atmosphere that just becomes a party, there's no show like an NXT show.
SAWFT.